Drew's in Raleigh. Hi, Drew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So I have a question. I am 20 years old. I'm making about $41,000 a year right now. I have $20,000 in cash and $20,000 invested in a mutual and a Roth. And in the near future, probably about the next 5 years or so, have marriage, that will be coming, buying a house, and stuff like that. So I had a question on if you would recommend being Gazelle intense for a few years to build wealth. I don't have any debt. So I was curious if you get intense for a couple years in the beginning to build the wealth, if that would be worth it, or if you would suggest you just stick with the 15% that you recommend.
Well, you don't have a house payment today, and so the 15% is not what we would recommend. We'd recommend that you max out whatever retirement you can while you're meeting some of your other savings goals. See, yes, I would be intense to use your, I'm not sure it's Gazelle intense. Gazelle intense is you have absolutely no life until you get yourself out of debt. And I don't think I'm going to prescribe that for you, but I think you would be very intentional versus intense and say, okay, I'm going to have this segment of my money that I enjoy, and all the rest of it I'm going to use to pile up and build wealth during this short period of time. I'm going to be really intentional, and I may have a little smaller enjoyment budget than some of my buddies who blow their entire freaking paycheck. Because I'm grown up beyond my years. I've already matured beyond my 20 years here, which you have just by asking this question. You're a pretty impressive young man. And so, yeah, I think that's intentional. But when we're talking about Gazelle intensity, we're talking about you have no life at all until you get your dadgum debt paid off. And that's the best way to get out of debt. That's not necessary for you to have a really sweet situation 5 years from today.
And I think you got to look at what are you not doing. Meaning, if you have a traditional 8 to 5 job and you go home and you're going to spend from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock playing video games, in your 21, get another job. Start work and grind. If you've got friend opportunities to hang out with your buddies and create community, of course do that stuff. But I'm a huge fan of people in their 20s really busting it and getting after it. But like Dave said, man, you got to breathe too. You got to breathe.
Yeah, intentionality just means that, we're not going to go from Friday night to Sunday night and spend everything we made in the previous 5 days, which is what most people do, particularly at 20 years old.
Then they spend the next 3 weeks trying to pay it back.
Yeah, and trying to figure out how we're going to eat because now we got any money to eat next week. And so that happens all the time. So, we're just moving way to the other side of that coin. But this idea that you sit at home and do absolutely nothing and you cheap out on every single thing and you don't buy a bed and you sleep on the floor or something, no, we're not saying do that.
Go on a date.
Yeah, enjoy and have some money set aside for enjoyment.